Hey, what's up, everybody? Wyatt Hertz here with another Featured Fridays round, another Homefront Community Spotlight match from the OnLive game service. Now, this time, we're looking at ogreaper13. So, welcome to the Spotlight, sir. It's good to have you here. And I can't really talk about Reaper without giving him a hard time about something. It's what I do. But it's all in good fun. It's all good-hearted, and certainly not malicious. So, all right, let's get right into the action here. You can see he's carrying one of my favorite weapons, the M16. He's got the sucker gold-plated, and we'll get into the kit later because this is actually his signature kit as well. So I'll save that till the end. You can see the enemy are stacking up there on the rooftop early on, and he gets a nice long-range kill. He had some pretty good accurate fire up there. The enemy, after the first man fell, started to scramble a little bit because they knew that M16 fire was coming in their way. And of course, he did pull out the proximity launcher to took one more man off the rooftop before pursuing this Humvee and kind of pinning it in this corner. And then amazingly just kind of chased one of the occupants around the building and stuck him with the blade. Managed to survive that whole ordeal, surprisingly. Despite, you know what, it's tough. I was thinking about this. It's tough following Eeyore, because I was singing his praises for being this kind of clean, crisp, this just great player, great decisions, precise movements, and then we get Reaper in here, and you know what? It's almost as if, Reaper, he has a climb to greatness here this round. He has a good start. He has a he has a questionable finish, let me tell you. We'll get to that. But he has the strangest climb to greatness. He does end up leading the team. But it's just strange. It's so it's like we've walked into the bizarro world after watching Eeyore play. I don't know. It was weird. It was just weird. And you guys will kind of see what I'm talking about here. Just the way he almost carelessly just goes straight for the kill, No, there's not a lot of thought. It's almost like he's flying by the seat of his pants out there. Whereas Eeyore was very much more, despite everything moving fast and reactive, there's a lot more just serious thought given to his decisions. I think with Reaper, it's just like, me see target, me kill now, you know what I mean? So anyway, I'm sorry, brah. I'm not, like I said, it's all in good fun. I hope I'm not trying to embarrass or anything. It's just, that's how I view you, and you're a good player, don't get me wrong. You wouldn't be in the spotlight if I didn't think you were a good player. So anyway, right here, let's get back into calling this action here and get to, we'll leave Reaper be here. Some decent fire there on Meloso. He certainly saved a couple of lives there because Meloso did have that proximity launcher out on his shoulder. You have seen Reaper pulling it out a couple times. Often it's to deal with a vehicle, but then he kind of just leaves it out there and gets a couple good halo jumps in on targets if they're available. So you know what? It's not power to it. It's certainly the explosive work is done in moderation, and I'm not going to give him a hard time for it. A little questionable coming in here on the spotlight, though, but that's fine. That's fine. Now, right here, you can see this is the issue with the M16 that a lot of guys will have, including myself. When you see those targets at those, pressing in to those close quarters, it can be tough. A lot of guys will get stuck. They get heavy on the trigger, just trying to rip the bullets out with the M16 quickly, without taking the split second to make those necessary corrections, or even really considering it. They just keep strafing back and forth. I do the same thing, but Reaper had some issues with it there near the end, and it really did cost him his life. But no real harm done. He comes in the tank. You can see Emil rolling in the tank as well. You can also see it's a pretty close game, and they are actually down right now by 10 kills. And overall, if you've been watching that score counter, it was a pretty close game, but the enemy kept pulling away by about it. They would develop a 10-kill lead, and the KPA Reaper's team, as we watch this RPG, amazingly, he just managed to get underneath that, drift back into the low ground, and let that RPG go whizzing overhead. But amazingly, the KPA, they just keep reeling the Americans in, right? Here we are back we were just back there at 64-64, and they're starting to pull away one more time. So that was how the battle was playing out, and you will see that right at the end as well. So keep an eye out for it. Finally, he does get moving. You see him kind of lingering there on the perimeter. Shades of mass, you know, just back there on the perimeter. I think he was waiting for the tank. I think he had heard the tank rolling around and was hoping it would come around the corner and he would be able to get the jump on it. But you know what? Enough's enough, he says. He's out there chasing it down, puts down one way to heaven with some great chasing fire. You know, he was coming up the tank 6 and was just kind of almost putting up some blind fire because of all the kind of just the visual noise that was up on the screen, explosions and smoke blasts and stuff like that. And it was tough to line up that shot, but he did get him. Unfortunately, it looks like he ate a C4 shortly after that. He even managed to pull in the repairs, which is why I think it was probably a C4, because he got put down so quickly right after getting those repairs. Now, right here, this is it. You know, here we are coming down the final stretch. It's 86 to 82. Reaper making a poor decision at this point, if you ask me. You know, why he's trying to square off with this Apache with the tank is beyond my comprehension at this point when the match is this close and he should be pushing in for the win, you know. Obviously, he just never checked the leaderboard. It wasn't of his concern, you know, so. But you see, Jasp is actually the pilot up there. He comes in low, gives Reaper a little bump on the shoulder, says, all right, sir, your challenge accepted, and it starts putting some fire his way. Now look at the score. It's 97-89. Reaper finally hits the Apache amazingly. Pulls in a double out of that, I do believe. And then this is the worst, though. This is the worst. 98 to 9,000. Enemy needs 2 kills. Reaper takes the time to do some trash talking. Unbelievable. He types in, son, who you think I am? Get your ass off of me. Get out of here with your bird. And then puts Jasp down one more time in the swamps. Now, amazingly, the KPA rallies here one more time. 97 to 99. Oh, it's all but over. Who's going to, it's going to be a photo finish. Who's going to pull in that last kill? 99-99. Reaper, good Lord. He was almost dead there. He was getting hellfired. He didn't have much life left in him, and he managed to do enough damage by the end of it all to not only lead his team, but to lead them to victory. So amazing. It was amazing. Like I said early on, it was just this strange this strange climb to greatness. And as only I'm sure Reaper can do it, you know. So anyway, 21-3, pretty solid numbers considering. And let's run down a few more names and numbers here while we're here. 14-6 for Emil. Minia there 11-9. Jordan 9-4. Ashbox 8-8. Even Steven Vervombo 7-7. Another even Steven. And I can't really. Me Hope 10. I think that's what it says. 7-2, so that's pretty solid numbers there as well. Going over to the other side, One Way to Heaven, obviously leading the room. I can't read the second name, and I can't even see the numbers. So we'll go down to Sturdy Bart Fast, 10-4, Dog 9-8, and Jasp. Should mention him for squaring off with Reaper there. Apache on tank. He did get tanked though. Goddamn, Jasp. And I don't see him in too many videos. He doesn't get into too many of these videos, so it was nice to see him in one. 8-6 for him. And, well, now let's move on to the kit. To Reaper's signature kit, dubbed the Grim Reaper. And it is basically what you saw him using. We're looking at the M16 with ACOG scope there, number 2, EMP nades, proximity launchers, and ammo resupply in his purchase abilities. In the infantry abilities, quick draw, blast wave, and steady aim. And why he recommended it, he said it's great for long-range play, and of course I completely agree with that. The M16 is deadly at those longer ranges, should be used from those longer ranges. And it's also, the kit itself is great. You know, if you're dealing with tanks, helis, drones, Humvees, whatever the case may be, you're set. You're set and ready to go with the EMP nades, with the proximity launchers in there, and with the even with the ammo resupply in case you need more nades or whatever the case may be. He says you're set. He also mentioned it is good at close quarters if you can handle it. If you're skilled enough to use it. And you know what, Reaper? The jury's still out on that one with you, sir. Sorry, brah. Sorry, brah. You know, you had a few tough moments there in those close quarters, so I thought I'd throw that in there. That's all part of me giving you a little bit of a hard time, because that's what I like to do. All right, I'm going to run a clip that he sent me here. Let me just load this up on my player so I can watch it as it's being played. And I said I'd I'd run it up here. Why not? It was pretty interesting. He comes in here with the parrot. I think he's probably got like that massive explosion. He comes in here trying to give somebody a haircut with the goddamn props on the thing. And, of course, gets a triple out of it and a grenade. It's a grenade marker, amazingly. Don't know what's going on there. But it must have been, he must have had that... I don't know, that big explosion on the thing. Not really sure what's going on there. But he gets a triple, and a fuck the world is, of course, the name. That was kind of fitting. That's what I liked about it. It just says, fuck the world. He's got his parrot. He pulls in a triple, and he says, fuck the world. And so that's that. Now let's get out of the clip. Bring the name up. I want to thank Reaper for getting involved, you know. Always, I was, you know what, I wanted you up here, Reaper. I'm glad you got up here. Now, this, of course, is the time when it's time for you guys to give back. And as I always say, you know, leave a like or a comment for Reaper here. Let him know what you thought. Show him some love. Show him some support. But also make sure, as requested by myself here, make sure you give him a bit of a hard time. You know what I'm saying? Do it nice, of course, in the comments. But make sure you give him a hard time. And in fact, well, I will give you the perfect opportunity too. As we move on here to the danger rating. All right, so what am I going to give you here, Reaper? What am I going to give you? I told you what I was going to give you, what I was thinking of giving you. You know, I sat and I watched Reaper for, you know, basically the a round of the maps, right? And looking for a few matches that we could choose one from. And he does have a tendency, and this is why I mean, it's mentioning Eeyore, because Eeyore, he's just like, he gets into these battles, and he just makes these great decisions, right? And whereas it's Reaper, just in there, flying by the seat of his pants, just frothing at the mouth, just looking for the kills, right? So it's I don't know, it's night and day, right? It's comparing night and day, back to back, you know, back to back in the spotlight, night and day, or day and night, however you want to look at it. He does have a tendency to just get a little ahead of himself and not really considering everything that's going on, right? Especially you saw that at the end with the whole trash talk when the enemy only needed 2 kills. It was just unbelievable. So anyway, you know what? This is gonna be a first for the spotlight rounds. I'm gonna give him 2 of them. Two danger ratings, and you all can, I'll leave it up to you all to decide which one he deserves, all right? Or possibly even both. So you guys can decide that in the comments, right? So here's the first one. ogreaper13. Mad Dog Dangerous, you know, because he's in there frothing at the mouth. Let's get it up. And ogreaper13. Mad Dog Dangerous. There it is. Okay, so there's one to choose from, all right? Get that at the top of the screen. Gonna need a little extra room down at the bottom for this one. So, yeah, I mean, that's the Mad Dog Dangerous. He is in there just mad as hell, just in there tearing shit up. Doesn't care if he lives or dies. He's just in there looking to kill something, right? And so the other one, of course, will be ogreaper13. Doesn't look both ways before crossing the street dangerous, because you know what? I thought that was kind of funny, you know, because it kind of summed up what I had been watching. While I watched him play through each of those rounds, he was in there, and it's kind of the same thing, just looked at the same thing as Mad Dog Dangerous. It's just looking at it a little differently, right? Because in the end, he's his own worst enemy out there half the time. He has great skill. He has a great battle sense, you know, of getting in there, getting the job done, but often he's just out there, like I said, flying by the seat of his pants. So there's the 2. You guys choose one, and you decide. Vote for it in the comments or whatever, and let Reaper know which one he deserves more. Well, you know which one I think he deserves more. So, but you guys can decide for yourself. Anyway, guys, I should wrap this. Thanks for tuning in, as always. Much appreciated when you do. Thank Reaper one more time for getting in here. And remember, man, it's all in good fun. It's all in good fun. So until next time, remember why it hurts. And don't forget to vote. Your vote matters here in this instance. So leave that in the comments. Later, all.